Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for June 2nd, 2022. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com, and to enter the SRC4u demonstration Zoom call, we will scroll down and we're going to look for the Zoom banner. Now, YouTube disclaimer, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. We are not here to diagnose any health issues. We're working strictly through the etheric fields. So we're going to click, and this will take us over to the live Zoom call. If you'd like to be part of Cathy's Zoom call, which is her SRC4u Daily Energy Clearing Group, you can register here. One moment, please.
Here we are at 10:30, so I'm glad to see everybody. I want to show you, we've been working, you can see right here, stress related to emotional control. The idea, what took us into emotions is we're working on, obviously, our brain, the functioning part of the brain, but then also how it operates to pull in from this maybe infinite matrix the information we need to create the life we want to create. And this is not new age stuff. This takes a lot of work and determination and understanding that many of these emotions are in our tissues. They're actually downloaded through whatever means, our early upbringing, our birth. There's all kinds of factors. If you get a chance to look at the blog, I'm trying to every day, I keep the screencast real basic because I don't know who else looking, but we're wanting to get an awareness of the emotions that are under the surface. And then that awareness should take care, with the power of this brain, that should take care of about 80% of it. But then also we can make changes in our habits, we can make changes. The conscious mind is the gateway. So once we have the awareness, we can work with the conscious to modify and take some stress out of the subconscious. So that's what we've been working on. And we've been, most of the week, we cleared up. Every day I'd look in and we were clear, but not when we get into the emotions thing. And this is all subtle. You can see the work we're doing. And let's quickly go down this. And then we did one, I took a quick peek. We wanted the discarnate scan, just the cocktail. I've been dividing it. I put discarnate cocktail, and then that was a high number. And then I checked, do we want a real detailed scan? We did not. So just the cocktail. And then SRC startup scan, you see that's a 90%. So here it is. And the top, which is interesting since we have been working on the brain, is optimal brain operating system. So let's get in here. See how we look with that. We may have some environmental stress. Now we're going to take it up to 102. And then whenever these codes come up, or excuse me, Hertz numbers come up, what they say is just give it a 1 minute charge. All you need to do. Well, that doesn't take long. So, plaques. Little plaque buildup in the brain. Again, all subtle information, but this can be extremely proactive. But it's the thought and the emotions together that create. And so what's happening, even if you look at just America, all this condemning and complaining and fear, what are we going to create from that? And about drug residue, let's just rest for a bit. That's significant now. There we go. So that's from yesterday. Whether from last night, stress related to illness. Cell membranes. And that's where according to Bruce Lipton, your little antennas are that pull in the information from the matrix. In his book, The Biology Belief, he talks about trying to find the brain of the cell. And it was only when he discovered it was the actual cell membranes that connected. And it seemed that what the connection involved was chakra spin. There's our angel scan. I'll come back to that in a minute. Repair damage to nerve cells. These are all things we're wanting to work on as a part of our startup. We want to include that. A little stress with that one. So Shannon. And I'm getting an unstable internet connection, so if I disappear, I'll come right back. Now this notes and frequencies of the human body is something we can do quickly. You can even do it on a real regular basis. You don't have to scan for it. In here, I'll get up here. Just go ahead. So just quickly looking, we see intestines, there's some stress, lungs, colon. Let's just, I guess I better copy that. Put those in, and then we have the Tesla 3. Now this is what my word is doing. It's kind of freezing on me at times, so we'll come back to that. Now this should be tau proteins, and there's a code for it. I don't know why it continues to come up that way, because I found the code, but a lot of times we just want the words. The words are so powerful, and so you want to make sure.
What's tau?
That is information relating to the brain and some of the connective tissue. So it doesn't hurt if there's a little stress to go ahead and amp that up. And there is a little stress. That might end up with a protocol on that. Higher rate of glial cells, or glial, however you say it, compared to neurons. That's what Einstein was known of. And those are like ridges in the brain. And the more of them you have, the more intelligent you are. And then we want the flower essences, and I really have found instead of doing that scan, it's more productive just to go into the dispenser and get our flower essences that way. Go ahead and click it. Make sure they come up. It's kind of Murphy's Law that a lot of times they don't come up when that's what you're going for. You can see all subtle, some of the stress. Look at that, we're just taking a minute with all this information. Let's go up here. Okay, so look at that. We're wanting brain, mental clarity, and then also there's some stress related to fear. Let's look at the emotions panel. Let's look at stress related to mental clarity. Okay, so sinus related to that, interesting enough, and prostate. And then obviously fear is a huge voltage reducer. So there we have the oppression, trauma. Dogmatic views held as defense for anger or violence. Let's just, again, where'd you go here? This is when you just can't even look at another opinion. There's going to be some stress related to that. So there again, mega possession, and then stress related to the hypothalamus. Okay, look at that, spiritual awakening. This seems to be what we're seeing in so many cases. I think it was Annie that said a lot of the things happening now, they had to happen to really get our attention. Negative expectation, we can do without that. Pessimism. Okay, and that perhaps from experiences we had there, there's the aura system, so we'll do an aura scan. Pessimism. Okay. Discouragement. All right. I'm not going to start it yet because we'll check in our P4 as well and see if anything of interest comes up. Now this is another one I don't remember. I have to refresh my memory on what this SULSI is, but it was a priority to have it in our startup scan. So if anybody has their computer handy and wants to look that up and refresh our memories. Looks like it's creating some stress. hormones. Normal brain. And what you can do when you get some of these codes, if you're working on yourself or a client, you can always check to see if it's a priority for anyone else. For example, I've got the lady we're going to have in the intention group today. I've got her running, and I'm not going to show her scan in front of everybody right now, but just put in priority and see if that person would like that code as well. So you can have 10 of these running, and you can, perhaps these will come up for you, or like in my case, the group, and then check the others. Check yourself, check the others, see who else it's a priority for. And we are going to be asking for a gem. I'll do that scan and include that in the notes. These crystals are like little computers themselves, we're told. And you can also get a lot of information with whatever crystal you get as to what your biggest issue might be. And I'll also scan these other two things, one more thing, the issue, and send that in. But I want to show you something a little different first. Now this aphasia is like an injury to the head. I like to go to the other extreme just in case polarity is off. And here again, just do your priority. Okay, so no, it's not. So we can go ahead and I'm not going to clear this yet because I don't want to forget to do the issue scan. But regardless, something else now. We have a list from the book, The Emotion Code. Have y'all read that book? And this is only as far as I've gotten with codes because I make a little progress and then my word freezes and I have to wait. But we've got quite a few, and I did a scan. I want to show you for the group our priority as far as what our emotions could be bringing on. So here we go. Now, I don't know why this attention deficit always comes up, but it's a high number. It's the top thing, and it seems to come up. But we've got as the top issues, and we're going to pick one of these to make our focus starting tomorrow, and then no telling how long. But post-traumatic stress disorder. Let's just look and see. That's significant.
What about grief?
Well, it's not in our list. Grief is going to be one of the emotions that brings us to this stuff. And we have a good code for that to transmute grief into 528 hertz or into awareness. That I put that in the other day if you look at the blog. But we don't know, this is just what these emotions bring on. And so that's where this is going. Looks like it's going to be post-traumatic stress. Have a few more checks. I don't know. Eye pain of all things. So we might be going into eyes. And this suicidal thoughts is on the rise too. I got a call day before yesterday from a client who was really considering suicide. And of course, I'm not qualified to deal with that. We want, we need to get someone else as well. But you're wondering if you go back to some of these overlays that can come in over these YouTubes, if we aren't getting some negative overlays. It's hard to know for sure. This is the last one. Okay, so it's going to be eyes and related eye pain to see what that deals with. And so that'll be next week's focus. We'll keep going down.
Cathy,
Yeah.
you were just mentioned the negative overlays on electrical things, YouTubes and things like that. So I was on YouTube yesterday. A lot of times I like to listen to YouTube music when I'm cooking or whatever. And all of a sudden I just got this creepy feeling. Remember we talked about it the other day about something negative on my favorite place to go. So anyway, I did this field generator thing. It just made me feel better. And the field generator, I put in it, only Christ consciousness energy is able to transmit through any electrical device.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
So anyway, I've been putting it in Grab-A-Boy. I hope I get a number for it. If I do, I'll let you know.
Yes. Yeah, that, and we get a field generator every day.
Yeah.
So, at some point in the day I scan and we put that up. This is not, again, well, now we're wanting the implant command, but it is not coming up for us. I'm going to go ahead and just put that adrenal trauma cocktail in because we don't seem to be able to get up there. But this implant command, especially if you break it down, is really interesting. I don't know why it won't come up for me at this point. So we'll just have to come back to it. Now that's interesting. A few little glitches here. Let me just put the blessings in and out. Okay. Well, we just got a couple of extra cocktails, so we have about 5 minutes. Let's quickly do a gem scan and see what we want. And then what I'll do is get this list from the emotions code finished with the codes at some point today and send it out. And this again is where we want to kind of freeze. So I guess I'll get to that later if necessary. Let's give it a moment. There we go. Well, I'm having a heck of a time. I can't get up here to the... All right, so what'll happen now, we can go through, we see green quartz, and we've got 3 zeros, so what you can do is go in and just see which one and slow. Because remember, as soon as you scan, already some energy has been sent and it can shift. There it is, though. That's red adventuring. So when you look up the healing properties of red adventuring, then you get some real insight. And we won't do that right now because we're going to have the intention group, but I'll put it in the notes. So that's our work. I'll do the catch up with the notes that go out, including all the codes for this. Let's see right now, though, for now. So let's see real quickly. So we're not wanting any, so we don't want to add at this point an additional theme. And
this concludes the SRC4u Zoom call. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well.